Well, hello. How are we doing? I hope you're well and life is treating you good. Hope you enjoyed the script update the other day. There will be more of that to come along. But today we're back to our usual look at books and novels and non-fiction and all sorts. And we've been through the mailing list. We've looked at getting a publisher and an agent. So today we're going to look at book launches. So when your book comes out, do you have a book launch? Why have a book launch? Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is this book. It's called Race to the Future by the wonderful Cassie St. Clair. It was published by John Murray, and it was actually Radio 4 Book of the Week a couple of weeks back. And I have to say, so far it's been fantastic. I'm really enjoying it, full of historical facts, fun facts and anecdotes. It's about the automobile industry in the 1907, 1908. There was a race from Peking to Paris, and it's all about that race, all the players, the world as it was as well. It's just fantastic, the stuff that she's digging out, dug out, to reveal to you all this fascinating information. I'm only at the beginning, but really looking forward to ploughing through it. I met Cassia St. Clair, a wonderful lady, really enjoyed her company, but I could tell that she'd really well researched the novel. She was passionate about a subject and really passionate about this book and had put her heart and soul into it. And that's fantastic stuff. And don't forget that this would make a perfect Christmas present. Okay, so it's about an automobile race from a car race, shall we say, from Peking to Paris in the early 1900s when the cars were still in their infancy. So fantastic. So what have I just done there? What's just happened there? So I've just talked to you about someone else's book and even recommended someone else's book. Okay, and why is that? Because I went to their book launch. Now, I didn't know Cassia before that, and they very kindly invited me along, even though they didn't know who I was, and I had a great time. And like I said to you, I bought into it. I bought into it all. I was like, okay, this does look like a very interesting book. I realised the author knew what they were talking about, was really passionate about it, and just to boot, she was a lovely person. Yeah, so that's why you have a book launch. That's the idea. Because it's not always, yes, it's about selling the book, but as well as that, you want to sell yourself. If I went there and the author wasn't really interested or whatever, I had a quick look at research, whatever, then how's that going to reflect into their art? If they've kind of got the attitude, or perhaps they're not a nice person, you're not going to want to buy from them, are you? So actually, if you can create this vibrancy at book launches, like was a very good time. I met loads of different people. We all had a fantastic time together, and that's the idea. You bring everyone together to celebrate your book, what you've done. They get to meet you. They get to hear about your work, and they put the two and two together, hopefully, and think, right, okay, this is a great combination. This is something I want to take a punt on. Okay, so in the ideal circumstances, that is why you have a book launch. They're also tremendous fun. Personally, as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit of a show off, and so I like to have book launches and parties and things like that. So they are tremendous fun as well. Are they essential? No, absolutely not. A lot of indies don't have them at all, or there's alternatives as well, which is online parties. You can do a Facebook Live or Instagram Live and just do questions, a Q&A, have an open Q&A on the day. There's many different things that you can do, but they're absolutely not essential. Not even for trad either. I suspect that a lot of trad and literary agents obviously would want to have a book launch, and of course don't forget it's about the publicity that you can generate. Who is coming to your book launch? Obviously, if you've got a lot of high profile book bloggers, bookgrammers, or reviewers or journalists coming to your book launch, then yes, you may want to push the boat out and get a bit of a more elaborate launch. So on that note, want to quickly say, of course, that it doesn't matter about scale of budget per se. So, you know, hey, if you're an indie and you haven't got a lot of money, a lot of independent bookshops will give you a space for free even, and you can just put 5 or 6 bottles of wine on the table, have a launch, all have a drink together, perhaps some bits of cheese on there or something, and then all go off to the pub afterwards. Obviously, if you have got a big budget and you do think that it's going to be well worth the while, then obviously you can lay on catering or have a venue afterwards for an after party and lay on drinks and catering, etc., etc. So my personal opinion is, I think the most important thing to remember is it's not vital. Don't feel that you left out. But having said that, you know, you've heard me today. I've been don't forget, it's a good Christmas present. You know, I've been plugging a book that isn't mine because I was so bought into the whole process, the whole thing. So, you know, 50 people are doing that for you. And you've also got to remember the laws of cause and effect. You know, who's then gonna buy this now? Are one of you gonna buy this? Hopefully many of you are. And then you might read it, hopefully you will read it, really enjoy it, and they might buy it, and so on. And actually that's how a lot of bestsellers happen. It's word of mouth, isn't it? How many times do you read a good novel? Can't wait to tell your best friend, can't wait to tell your people at work, you know, the people that you know, oh, this book was so good, it was so fantastic. So it's about getting it in front of people's eyes, etc. One word of warning, obviously, I did have a book launch myself, invited something like 360 people. I think it's kind of like I had a third say no, a third say maybe, and a third say yes. So 80 said maybe and 80 said yes. So I was thinking, well, divide the maybes in half, so that's 120. Might have a few more drop out, but certainly 100 plus. So you know, I went all out and got catering and drinks and yeah, and guess what? 17 people turned up. A big eye opener. The staff absolutely loved me. They actually said afterwards, because I was giving them like trays of food and crates of beer, and you know they said we had 2 or 3 parties off all the stuff that you gave us. So they were really really happy about it. To be fair though, they ended up not charging me for the room, so I was very grateful for that. So yeah, so just a kind of word to the wise there. You know, manage your limits. You know, don't go getting yourself into debt or anything like that for this. Just strategize and think, is this a good idea? Who can I invite? And if you can, I would say go for it, because it's just good fun. And it's always nice to celebrate what you've done. So anyway, I'm going to sign off there, and I hope you're having a wonderful time. Hope you have a wonderful week, and I shall be back again very soon. Okay, cheers. Bye-bye.